appreciate all our supporters for that. Judges Majid Dahiru is our chief judge, and in spite of the busy season and busy schedule, he's been here from the jump, and we appreciate you, Dr. Majid. He's a researcher, a columnist, and tech team lead of Luxterra Leadership Foundation. We have Fidel Castro, a senior editor, as our judge. He's also in the green room, and Swat Kasa Dunia Adalumo, who just returned to work yesterday, is one of our judges sitting in from Irene Bangwa, who is unavoidably absent today. Olivia Osai is in the studio with us as we speak, and she'll be our diction judge. So, Abuja, if you're ready, we're ready. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Instagram. YouTube and Facebook will be streaming live at Nigeria Info Abuja. On X, we have an opinion poll put up. I'll be asking you to choose between our debaters who you think is making the more point argument and whose style you favor the most, and you get all the highlights and the behind the scenes and all whatnot on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Abuja. So let's start off with introducing our debaters.
All right, our debaters for today: AHANMISI Penniel Omozefe, 14 from Government Science and Tech College in Gariki, as well as Deborah Malachy from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaji. And the topic for their debate is Nigeria's large population is a burden.
Is it?
Really?
We'll get to find out how they argue. And I hope they convince all of us and confuse us with this. But yeah, we want to find out the side of argument they will take. And you know what? That's what makes it really intellectually from every other debate. Because you give them a pick, you give them a few days to prepare, and they prepare for all sides of the argument. And then they come into the studio, that's when they know what side of the debate they are on. And sometimes if you're not careful, you start to scramble the point. I hope I don't jinx anybody here, but you're like, let's argue for and against in your head, but I hope it doesn't happen to you guys. All right. So what side are you debating on?
I beg to differ.
All right, give us your full name.
Malachy Deborah.
Okay, begs to differ.
Then AHANMISI Penniel, I support the motion.
What's your name again?
AHANMISI Penniel.
AHANMISI Penniel.
Yes.
Supports the motion.
Yes.
So AHANMISI Penniel, we're going to start all the rounds with you from the opening to the rebuttal to the closing. You're a white card?
Huh?
Okay. Are you a white card?
No, I don't think so.
We're returning. All right. Good. So we'll start off with you. You're going to support the motion on Nigeria's large population is a burden.
Yes, ma'am.
All right then.
All right, your time starts now.
Nigeria's large population has gradually become a burden to the economy, to the national development. Good day, Mr. Chairman, the panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is AHANMISI Penniel from a citadel of knowledge, Government Science and Technical College, and I'm here to affirm the motion which says Nigeria's large population is a burden. Nigeria's large population is a burden due to the following points. 1. High unemployment rate. The job market struggles to accommodate the growing workforce, which will lead to a high youth unemployment rate. Nigeria today has the highest ranking unemployment rate, especially among the youths. This is a major problem because it is also going to affect our economic growth, political stability, and it's going to bring about a high rate of unemployment among the youths. Due to the rapid population, Nigeria's population grows faster than the available job, which would also bring about or creating a surplus in job seekers. 2, we have pressure of infrastructures. The Nigerian large and growing population brings about the pressure or puts an excessive strain on the country's infrastructure. When the infrastructural development does not keep up with the pace of the population growth, it will only end up bringing about congestion, inefficiency, and poor quality in life. These infrastructures include roads, electricity, water supply, healthcare, and also education. Now, for example, taking a look at the traffic congestion in major cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, they experience a daily grid lockdown due to the many vehicles and the poorly maintained road they have. Another example is the electricity supply we have today in Nigeria. The national grid cannot generate and distribute enough electricity for homes, businesses, and also industries. Another point here is the resources strain. The Nigerians' large population has generally caused a resource strain because they put an excessive excessive pressure on our natural and economic resources, which are the food, water, our land, our energy, and also healthcare. When there is a decrease, when there's a decrease in demand, it will bring about a resource strain that will end up having a strain on the economy. Furthermore, we have poverty and inequality. The Nigerians' large population today has caused a high rate of poverty. It has caused a high rate of poverty, and yet they also focus on extreme inequality, whereas a small percentage of the population end up controlling the wealth, while million others struggle just to get the basic needs. Thank you.
All right, there's AHANMISI Peniel there opening up this round of debate, supporting the motion there. And she's from 14-year-old from Government Science and Technical College, Gariki. It's time for us to turn to Deborah Malachi for you to give us your own counter-argument.
And your time starts now.
I'll begin with a quote from Nelson Mandela. A nation's population is its greatest asset, producing a large workforce, diverse talent pool, and a vibrant culture. As a well-brought-up African child, I must give honor to honor is due. Good morning, the chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, listeners, and viewers. My name is Malachi Deborah from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaji, and I'm here to oppose the motion which states Nigeria's large population is a burden. Of course not. Nigeria is known for its overabundant natural resources. In fact, we are ranked as the giant of Africa, in case you don't know. So Nigeria's large population is not a burden. Firstly, it increases and improves our thriving tech industry. It improves our thriving tech industry. Nigeria is ranked as the second largest tech industry in Africa. And of course, it has been driven by the large population of our tech-savvy production youth, able to grow and improve our country. So a large workforce really helps our country and makes our economy stabilized. Also, Nollywood and creative entertainment. Should I remind you that Nigeria is ranked as the second movie industry producers worldwide? In fact, it is the best in Africa because with large population, we are able to produce 2,500 million films in a year. And of course, it has increased our economic stability with $7 billion, which has really proven our economy. Moving forward, demographic dividend. Rwanda has proven that youth population has increased our economic growth, especially when it comes to Nigeria. Most countries prefer trading with Nigeria because of our large population. Furthermore, large consumer market. Nigeria is known for its large consumer market. Countries like China, which is our best and favorite trading countries, we have gained a lot from them and they also gained a lot from us. Companies like MTN, ShopRite, and Dangote's group has also gained a lot from the Nigerian population. Moving forward, food security and productivity. Like the Brothers Anchor program, it has used and utilized the energy from Nigeria, especially its large population, to grow and produce food, making sure that our food is secured, increasing farming rate, and also food production. Moving forward, we have Nigerian telecommunication. Nigerian telecommunication is one of the largest in the world, in fact, in Africa, because we are being ranked as the top countries with large population. And should I remind you that any country with large population can have a large workforce and different talent pool. Young individuals can come up with different ideas and it can work out because of the number of populations in our country. Thank you.
All right, so there we have it. They have given us their opening each, and we started off with AHANMISI Peniel, who supports the motion, and Deborah, who begs to differ. So we'll get back to you, Peniel, for your rebuttal. Are you ready?
And your time starts now.
And I'm back again for the rebuttals. My opponents mentioned my opponent mentioned a fact about the large consumer market. Have you forgotten the country we are today? In a large consumer market, it is not everybody that will be available, that will have the access to that market production, and this would bring about a dwindling in the country's national development. You also mentioned the large workforce. Talking about the large workforce now, we have in our country today, we have limited jobs or limited industries, in the sense that when because of the overpopulation we have, the jobs vacancies will also hinder people from actually getting that desired job they want. These jobs are usually kept by the business owners or the producers for family members and relatives, because now in Nigeria we are facing a high rate of corruption where getting a job is not really based on the qualification. It is usually based on the merits. You also talked about the telecommunication in our country today. Talking about the telecommunication, the large population we have today does not really affect our telecommunications today. You also talked about cultural and creativity. In cultural and creativity aspects, the population today has gradually become a burden, because it is not everybody that has that access to be able to make their creativity to be able to make their creativity to be popular or to be famous. Thank you.
All right, so Deborah, this is your moment for your rebuttal. Let's hear your arguments.
And your time starts now.
Thank you for having me back. Thank you, my opponent, for mentioning corruption. Now, you see, corruption is a burden to our nation and not overpopulation. Now, you talk about unemployment. Unemployment rate is not caused by overpopulation. In fact, it is caused by lack of creativity. Every citizen of Nigeria has the ability to create new things that will bring in source of income. You can't depend on the government. You can't depend on Nigeria's economy. You have to bring out what we bring source of income. That's why we have trade, we have entrepreneurship. That is what brings unemployment and not overpopulation. In fact, overpopulation even increases our job rate. Yes. Let me remind you, you talked about telecommunication. You said I mentioned telecommunication. For the MTN Nigerian, it has 70 million subscribers, and it has helped Nigeria to have a net worth of 250 million, adding it to its economy. Now, is that not an improvement? That is that overpopulation does not just improve on its nation, but also among individuals. Now, talking about Aliko Dangote, we know he's the richest man in Africa. Yes. Have you ever wondered how he got to that position? And his refinery in Lagos, his train refinery in Lagos, is the largest in the world. And he's a Nigerian man. Have you ever wondered how he got to that stage, how he attained that great height? It was because of what? The large force he was able to attain. He gained cooperation from Nigerians. The support he gained from Nigerians boosted him to that point he is. And his train station is the largest in the world. Now, I talked about Nollywood and AI entertainment. I also, you said that it does not worth our economy. But shocking, the reason why we are the second world largest film producers is because of our overpopulation. It is driven by the population of Nigeria, not by what you call less population. As I said earlier, the greatest asset of a nation is in its population. If you are not okay, look at China. China is a country, we all know it is overpopulated, but isn't it doing well? It is developed. China is a country that is developed, is leading the world ranking. They are doing very well with their overpopulation. So this tells you that overpopulation is an important, in fact, a significant role in the growth of a nation. Now, let me remind you, we are called the giant of Africa. Why do you think we are being called the giant of Africa? Because of what? Our large population. It's and our youth demographic dividend. What are youth ready to offer depends on how large our population is. Now, you talked about infrastructure, overpopulation ruin infrastructure. Let me tell you, large population do not ruin infrastructure. What ruin our infrastructure is the lack of using proper and quality materials to build. You talk about roads. Okay, even in states that have less population. Thank you.
All right, we're done with the boat rebuttal here, and we'll get to their closing in a moment. Just to remind you that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info ABJ. We're streaming live on X. We're putting up a poll there and asking you to vote based on their performance so far at Nigeria Info Abuja. Go on X and let us know what you make of their performance from their opening, the rebuttal, and then the closing they will get to in a bit. And on Instagram, you get all the highlight and behind the scene activity there also. We are at Nigeria Info FM Abuja on Instagram. So ladies, are you ready for your closing?
Yes, ma'am.
AHANMISI Peniel, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we're starting with you.
And your time starts now.
Still standing on the R16 protocol, I'm by name AHANMISI Peniel, and I'm back again to finalize my point supporting Nigerians' large population is a burden. Before I continue, my opponents kept on emphasizing on overpopulation. Have you also thought about it this way? What about the housing shortages? What about overcrowding? This would also cause large population to become a burden because of the overcrowding we have. The housing shortage deficits are over 17 million units. So, continue, we have security challenges. In our country today, we face a serious security challenges. These challenges ranges from terrorism and banditry, communal conflicts and cyber crimes, and poverty, unemployment, and even bad governance. For example, it is as a result of this overpopulation that is a result of this high and unattended population that gave a rise for young people to be recruited into the Boko Haram and its splinter group, which is the Islamic State West African province, that is the ISWAP. They go about terrorizing the northern eastern part of Nigeria since 2002. They also attack the villagers, kidnap civilians, and end up bombing the public places, which would lead to a mass displacement of this population. I'm also going to talk about the slow economic growth. Nigeria, due to the overpopulation of a country, this would bring about a slow population growth, because now the government will have to find ways, or diverse ways, to actually provide adequate resources for this growing population. I'm also going to be talking about economic and political stability. A large and frustrated youth today with no opportunities will only lead to frequent protests. Will only lead to frequent protests. This would cause population to be a burden because the political stability and the economic stability will be affected, because there will not be adequate resources and there will not be adequate resources to be able to fund for this growing population. The Nigerians' large population is also a burden because the country lacks resources, infrastructures, and also policies to support this. Without proper investment in things like education, job creations, and healthcare, the country will continue to suffer due to problems of poverty, infrastructure, and poor living conditions. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to bust your bubble of confusion and to sway you into believing that Nigerians' large population is a burden. Thank you.
All right, should put a pin to whatever bubble there is, real, imaginary, and we'll get to find out if Deborah is in that bubble or not. Deborah, are you ready for your closing?
Yes, ma'am.
And your time starts now.
You talked about slow economic growth. Should I amaze you that our population, in fact, our large population, increases our economic growth? Imagine 10 people doing a work of 100 people are meant to do. What do you think will be the outcome? Do you think the results will be positive or negative? So you telling me that large population in Nigeria slows economic growth is nothing but pure fairy tales. Now, Proceeding, you said Nigeria lack resources. Excuse you. Nigeria is known for its rich mineral resources. We do not lack resources. We are rich in minerals. We are rich in resources. We are rich in politics. We have good leaders. It's just that they don't just take their time to see things in the dimension that even the low masses will see. But we are rich. We are wealthy. Why do you think we have tourist centers? Why do you think the Americans, the white states, come to our country to take real goods, take real resources? That's because we are rich in resources. Now, Jeffrey Sachs once said that the ones who believe that nations' large population is a burden is a myth perpetuated by those who are too blind to see that human capital and potential is important and essential in the growth of a nation. Now, let me remind you that overpopulation is not a curse, but a blessing. Because look at other countries that are overpopulated. They are doing excellently fine. I mean, excellently good. Look at the United States of America. Look at China. Look at Singapore. All these countries are doing well. Why? Because of what? The overpopulation. In fact, let me remind you that United States of America are using the excuse of giving Nigerian students scholarship to help them boost their own population. Because when their population is boosted, quite all right, their minerals will be, their economic standard, they will be financially stable, and the rest. Now, you also said that overpopulation is a downfall of the country. Excuse you. Overpopulation is one of the important things. In fact, because of Nigeria's large population, we have been able to gain and play significant roles in global economy. When I mean global, I mean global. Most of our citizens are representing the world globally, and they are representing the world because of the support they attain from Nigeria. Now, look at, I talked about telecommunication system. I said 70 million subscribers are under MTN Nigeria, and it has developed Nigeria. Our technology system has grown. We now have access to other countries. We are partners. You know, we have freedom. We can be able to attain a height we want for ourselves. So even Aliko Dangote testified to the fact that Nigeria's large population has actually helped him in his growth. In fact, it tells you that Nigeria's large population does not just impact the nation, but to every individual that wants to take use of the opportunity. So it's a privilege for we, the citizens living in such a country. Yes, it's a privilege. In fact, I actually think we should make use of that resources before it's too late. So I leave you with the words of Bonifiesta. Thank you.
All right. Bonifiesta left the room.
Sorry to Bonifiesta. Couldn't get the word he was about to leave us.
I wonder if it was a life-changing word from Bonifiesta, but it never happened. All right, so there you have it. They've given us their closing. We had their presentation, their rebuttal, and their closing each. We'll let the diction judge, who is in the studio with us now, just give a quick take.
All right, so we're going to start with Peniel. Well done. So here are the words you mispronounced, and I wish you also used your TH sound for the words like youth, words like healthcare, and this, that. You kept missing your TH sound. I wish you used that. And other words like development, it's not development, that word is development. And then you said vehicle, the word is vehicle and not vehicle. The word is economy, not economy, like you said. And I heard you say and yet, okay? So it's either you say and, continue your point, or you say yet when you used that. You called your opponent. So she's your opponent and not opponent. You mentioned the word relative and you pronounced it as relative. That word is relative. So the word bombing, when you pronounce that word, the B is silent. You don't say bombing, okay? Bomb and bombing, that's the word. I just wish you also used your TH sound. Overall, I think you didn't do too bad with your pronunciations and with your clarity and articulation. You're eloquent as well. So you scored a 2/3. Deborah, you also ignored your TH sound. I wish you used that. And you mispronounced words like consumer. That word is not consumer, it is consumer. Consumer. Population and not population. Entrepreneurship, not entrepreneur. Developed, okay? And your TH again. So overall, you scored a 2.5/3. Well done to the both of you.
All right, so we've heard from our Diction Judge, and we're waiting for feedback from the green room on their performance. So we see the polls already on X, and it's quite interesting. There's a large significant margin actually going by the 7 votes, 7 only on X that voted. But we're seeing a disparity of 85.7% and a 14.3%. Are we to conclude that these 7 people, or perhaps 6 of them, are strongly from one school over the other? Well, we can't say because we don't know who voted.
Well, you can let us know what you're voting for and what side you're on by going onto our X poll right now at Nigeria Info ABJ. Is what you call Twitter, what is known as X. And that's our handle where we have the poll up. You can go on there and click and let us know who you are voting for. Who you think impressed you enough, who gave more points and convinced you beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, Mr. Peter Ode says, well-grounded student, too brilliant, smart, outspoken and confident in speaking to the hearing of the public. I'm really stunned. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, the host and others in the studio. Thumbs up, guys. Doris Walike says, thanks to the wonderful presenters for boosting the communication competence of these brilliant students. And AHANMISI Evelyn says, great point from AHANMISI Penel. Is that a sister? Joseph Chinago says, population is not a cause. Corruption and no creativity is the bigger problem. And well done, great minds. You guys are doing well, he wrote. And Monday says, well done, our future leaders. Monday, AHANMISI there sent that message.
All right, and Charles F. Young on Facebook says, welcome back, guys. Hope you have more fire. Debate like the last one. Good luck. Interesting topic. I wish you all the best, is what Kofoworola says. And Victor Emmanuel, background sounds, music please. Should we have interludes with music in between? We do. But yeah. And Vincent Wodo, all the best to you guys, is what he says. Let's see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform, 08099300137.
All right, then. So, nice one. Okay, he mentioned one of the debater and her opponent, JJ, listening from the premises of GGSS Tungamaja. Things we can already deduce. Nigeria's large population is only good in rigging election for politicians. Gideon C. from Gwagwalada. And Joe Tech says, good day, ma. When are you holding hard facts now? Well, this is part of hard facts. It's happening already. The moderator, the debaters, this is great. I feel like joining them. It's moving me. I'm really impressed. It's Philip from Abuja. And G-Man says a country can have a very large population with enough resources that is not overpopulation, says G-Man. And the kids are doing excellently well. They should keep it up. Dikin Emmanuel Okudiliede from Madala sent that one in, and our returning officer has returned.
Please proceed so we can get the results and get it over and done with. Thank you.
All right, so for the motion, Nigeria's large population is a burden. Peniel supported the motion, so we're going to start with Peniel. For your presentation, you got an 8. That's the aggregate from all the 3 judges. For your rebuttal, you got 4.5 aggregate. For your closing, you got a 6, which is an aggregate. And your presentation style over 30, which is the aggregate, you got a 19. And in total, the presentation style includes the diction score. In total, you got 37.5. Deborah Malachi, who begged to differ in her aggregate presentation, got 8.5. In her rebuttal, she got an 8. Her closing earned her a 9 aggregate point. Her aggregate style of presentation over 30, she got 22.5. In total, 48 is what you got. So this means that Deborah gets to the next round of the quarterfinal. Congratulations to you, Deborah. And, Peniel, I'm sorry about that. With 37.5, I think it's a nice place to take a bow at this point in time. But how old is Peniel anyway? 14. So I'm sure you'll be back with a vengeance for season 3, I guess. Congratulations to you.
We look forward to having you back here again. Well done to you both, and wish you all the best.
All right, then. I want to say a very big thank you to our judges, Majid Dahiru, to Fidel Castro, to Swat Dunia Dalamo, to Olivia Osai, and to the sponsors and supporters of Season 2 of I Beg to Differ, Hamzat Lawal of Connected Development Follow the Money, to 313 Bureau de Change, to Happiness Computers, to Kolia Angel Nigeria Limited for the consolation prizes, who, by the way, will be handing one phone to Pena just before she leaves the studio. And then we also have Creative Fingers Cakes and Bite for all the goodies sent to us. 3J's Hotels and Apartment for providing the meal for our debaters and our judges. Thank you so much to all our partners. We'll wrap it up for now.
Not forgetting Number One Hotel.
Number One Hotel. Yes, thank you very much. I didn't forget that. I was just very sure if they...
Right.
Thumbs up to Number One Hotel.
Yes.
All right, then. So we'll take a quick break and hand the consolation prize to AHANMISI Penniel Omozefe from Government Science and Technical College, Gariki, for participating and getting to the round of 16 of I Beg to Differ debate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the last set coming on and we'll be done for today. Stay with us.
Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ student debate tournament is now in the round of 16. And we're shaking things up.